Hello students, welcome to the video lecture 11 of the chapter Moving Charges and Magnetism. Today we shall study magnetic dipole moment, which we had initiated in the previous video lecture, and continue it with circular current loop as a magnetic dipole. Then finally we shall understand magnetic dipole moment of an electron in Bohr's orbit, that is first orbit of an atom, then Bohr's magneton at the last. So let us begin with magnetic dipole moment. Magnetic dipole moment is denoted with small m. Magnetic dipole moment of a current loop is defined as product of current flowing through a loop and area enclosed by the loop. That means mathematically it is written as small m equals to I into A. I is the current and A is the area bounded by the loop. Here SI unit of magnetic dipole moment is ampere meter square, and it is always directed towards the normal to the current loop. So that's why we can write torque on a current loop as tau is equal to mb sin theta, which we have studied in our previous video lecture. So this is the magnetic dipole moment which you have written here. So current carrying coil or loop will surely behave like a magnetic dipole, and we can try to see it with this figure here, and we can see both its poles. One is north pole, one is south pole. If this is a current carrying loop, when the current flowing in that is anti-clockwise, then that side will behave, or that face will behave like north pole. And when we see it, when the current carrying loop, when we see it and current is flowing in the clockwise direction, then that face of the current loop will behave like south pole. So that's why a current carrying loop can be said to be a magnetic dipole. Now let us try to find out why it is a magnetic dipole, and let us give some proof for it. Okay, proceeding ahead, let us try to show that current carrying loop is a magnetic dipole. So we already have a equation for magnetic field at a point on the axis of a current carrying coil, which we have derived. So if this is a current carrying loop and at a point P, we have already derived an expression for it, and that is B is equal to mu naught divided by 4 pi into 2 pi n I r square divided by r square plus x square whole to the power 3 by 2. So this we have derived using Biot-Savart's law in our one of the video lectures. Here, for larger distance, if x is too large, then r can be neglected in such cases. So if we neglect that and try to write the equation 1, then we get the equation to be b is equal to mu naught divided by 4 pi 2i pi r square. Just we are trying to drop n, so that I am trying to take only one loop of current. Moving ahead, here pi r square can be written as a, that is area of the loop, area of this loop. So here we get it to be mu naught divided by 4 pi 2ia divided by x square. As earlier we have defined that magnetic moment can be written as I into A, so this equation comes out to be B is equal to mu naught divided by 4 pi 2m divided by x cube. Yes. By seeing this, we can relate this equation to one of the equation which we have studied in our previous chapters. Proceeding ahead, let us try to take this equation Here this equation is resembling the electric field equation of a dipole, right? Let us try to replace few of the quantities from this one and try to get an expression so that we can confirm whether it is matching to the expression of electric field of electric dipole or not. So here let us try to replace mu naught with 1 by epsilon naught em, that is magnetic dipole moment with electric dipole moment, magnetic field with electric field. If we try to replace these quantities with those here, then we get an expression, that is E is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p divided by x cube. And we know that this is an expression for electric field on the axis of electric dipole. Similarly, if we try to take the expression of electric field on the perpendicular bisector of dipole, which can be written like this, and try to replace, instead of E we shall replace with B, P with M, and 1 divided by epsilon naught with mu naught, then we shall get this equation. And this equation shows that the value matches in such a way that the current loop behaves exactly like a magnetic dipole. So by this we can also confirm that magnetic monopoles do not exist. That means when you are trying to take a current carrying loop, when you see it from one side, you will have to see the current flowing in clockwise direction. When it is flowing in clockwise direction, you find it to be south pole, and when you come on the other side of the current carrying loop, you find the current is flowing in anti-clockwise direction, so then it behaves like a north pole. So a single current carrying loop itself will behave north pole from one side and south pole from other side. That's why we are having two poles for a current carrying loop. That means there exists no monopole in the concept of magnetism. Let us proceed ahead here and try to study magnetic dipole moment of an electron in its Bohr's orbit. What we are exactly trying to do is trying to take an electron having mass m revolving in the nucleus at a radius of r from the center of nucleus with a speed of v. As you can see here, this is the nucleus and electron is revolving around the nucleus at a distance of r, right? We know that if a charge is moving, then we have current. So that's why we get a current here because of the motion of electron. So we can write expression for current as I equals to E by T, that is charge divided by time. Here capital T is time period of revolution of electron. So this time period of electron in its orbit can be given by T is equal to 2 pi r divided by V. 2 pi r is the circumference, V is the speed. So 2 pi r is distance upon speed of the electron gives us time period. So this gives us time taken to complete one revolution around the nucleus. Moving ahead, if we combine both the equations 1 and 2, we get I equals to EV divided by 2 pi r. Taking this one as equation number 3. Now let us try to write magnetic moment equation. So here the magnetic moment of electron in an atom at the first orbit or the orbit, I shall take it to be mu L. Reason it is for a electron in an atom, so that's why I am trying to write it this way, mu L, not small m. Note it. So here mu L is already shown here. It is a vector quantity, and we shall at last say what is mu L. Mu L is magnetic dipole moment of an electron. So mu L is into the plane of the paper. When you are trying to see it in this manner, electron is revolving this way, then mu L will be into the plane of the paper. So mu L, that is magnetic dipole moment of an electron, should be also equal to I into A. That is, I is the current which is caused by the motion of electron, and A is the area bounded by the orbit. Proceeding ahead, if I substitute their values, I get it to be I pi r square. And we already have the value of I from here. Let us substitute that. This comes out to be EV divided by 2 pi r into pi r square. Further, we get the whole value to be mu L is equal to EVR divided by 2, marking this equation, which is an important one. So this is the magnetic dipole moment of an electron in Bohr's orbit. Let us proceed ahead. Here, taking this equation once again, let us multiply and divide this equation with m. M here will be mass of electron. That's why magnetic dipole moment of electron is taken to be mu L. Note it. You will get to know why we are taking L at the last. So if I try to write it, we get m and m here. So I have multiplied and divide both the sides. We are having mvr, and mvr is already known to us. That is nothing but angular momentum of electron. So we are going to substitute L in place of mvr. So since this is L, that's why we are having mu L. That means magnetic dipole moment of an electron depends upon angular momentum. That's why it is mentioned here as mu L. Proceeding ahead, in the vector form, it comes out to be mu L is equal to minus E divided by 2m L. Here one point is to be noted that negative sign indicates that mu L is opposite to the direction of L. So here let us define a ratio called as gyromagnetic ratio. Gyromagnetic ratio will be mu L divided by L, ratio of magnetic dipole moment of an electron to its orbital angular momentum. Let us try to take that ratio using this equation. I'll get it to be mu L divided by L is equal to E divided by 2m. So this is an important equation which gives us the gyromagnetic ratio of Bohr's orbit. Here we know that E value is already known and mass of electron is also already known. So these two are already constant. Once we substitute their values, this is known as the gyromagnetic ratio of Bohr's orbit. Proceeding ahead, now we shall study Bohr's magneton. According to Bohr's quantization, we know that angular momentum of an electron in any orbit will be equal to nh divided by 2 pi, where n is number of orbit, where n can take the values 1, 2, 3, 4. Note that here n is principal quantum number. Substituting this value in equation 5, in this equation we get mu L is equal to E into nh divided by 2m into 2 pi. Finally, when we try to write it, we get NEH divided by 4 pi m. So this is the value of magnetic dipole moment of an electron in Bohr's orbit. If we try to take n is equal to 1, we get minimum value of magnetic moment of an electron. If we try to take n is equal to 1, that means electron is in first orbit. Let us proceed ahead and substitute it. So we get mu L minimum will be equal to He divided by 4 pi m. So when we substitute all the values of the corresponding quantities, we get it to be this value, that is 9.27 into 10 raised to minus 24 ampere meter square. And this value is Bohr's magneton, and we use it to express the magnetic moment of an orbiting electron. Thank you students, and see you in the next video lecture.